Now, there's still no end in sight for the public sector wage talks. On Thursday, thousands of public servants downed their tools following failed negotiations. Government is offering 3%, which teacher union Sadtu has accepted, but the PSA is still asking for 6.5, possibly 10%, while COSATU also wants 10%. For more on this, let's speak to Sadtu's Xolani Fakude. Thank you so much for your time, Xolani. We do appreciate it. I think, first of all, the first question is the fact that Sadtu has accepted the 3%. And many would ask why, because that's a very low wage increase that government has offered, and you've decided to accept this. Why?
Well, thank you very much, Heidi. Firstly, let me greet you and let me greet the viewers as well on behalf of the union. And perhaps let us just correct the narrative, Heidi. It is not about Sadtu accepting a 3% offer. In actual fact, Sadtu is very emphatic. Our members, we are a worker-driven union, which means, therefore, we take a mandate directly from our members. So our members are saying that when you look into the totality of the offer, not just the 3%, which is in actual fact the cost of living adjustment COLA, that's what you call it. Now, it is not just about the 3%, Heidi, but it is also about the 1.5%, right, which is now the pay progression. It is also about the 1,000 rands non-pensionable gratuity that we're going to receive until March 2023. So Sadtu members are saying that we are accepting the totality of the offer, not just about the 3%. And part of the reason that we do that, Heidi, and part of the reason why we are so emphatic is because we have seen how, in fact, our economy has suffered. It is not our responsibility as a union, really, to sort of try to justify how the economy has sort of declined and so forth. But what we are saying is that it is our reality. It is a reality that we have been facing, that we are facing as public servants. So what we're saying, Heidi, is that under the circumstances, especially also given the Concord ruling of the 2018 Collective Agreement 1, which was not implemented, the last leg of it, by the government, our view as a union is that under the circumstances, the 3% cost of living adjustment, by the way, which is in addition to other components, becomes what we can then rather consider. And our members have given us a very clear mandate that let us accept the offer. That is because, Heidi, our members and other public servants as well have been suffering. We have been suffering because of the economic decline that our country has seen on average. So when you look at the totality of the offer, and we want to emphasize that it is not just about 3%. It is a totality of the offer. And when you consider how much then it then at least increases on average of the employees in the public sector within the levels of 1 to 12, it becomes what we can consider. So that is what our members mandated us to accept as a union, Heidi.
So you touched on a very important point, Xolani, where you say that times are tough, things are not easy. And I know that you're saying that the offer was accepted in its totality. But, you know, we've been hearing a lot about how difficult it's been for teachers, how difficult things have been in terms of being blacklisted, not being able to pay for their bonds, unable to survive. And at the end of the day, things aren't necessarily going to get easier economically for anybody. So again, I'm going to ask the question is that, did you not feel as Sadtu that you could have put a little bit more pressure on government to at least increase the wage offer by at least 6.5% or 7% that government is saying we could possibly move to that? We just have to relook at things. Was there no other way to negotiate this with government? And I'm asking this in the context of the fact that teachers are really struggling economically and financially, and they are unable to make ends meet.
Well, Heidi, it's not only teachers that are suffering. I think let's accept that all of us as South Africans are suffering. Now, your question is that, did you not feel the need to put any pressure? Now, the reality of the matter, Heidi, is that, yes, actually we did put pressure. You would remember that, by the way, we started from a 0% offer. And that is why, as Sadtu, amongst other unions, public service unions, we then came very, very strongly to say that, but then employer, government, you are negotiating on the basis of bad faith. And we are saying that you cannot start negotiations on the basis of a 0% offer. Now, what we then did as unions, aligned also to COSATU, as Sadtu, we then pushed even further, Heidi, from 0%. It then moved to 0.9%. It then moved to 1.5%. It then moved to 3%. Now, this is a culmination of the discussions that we have been having at the Public Service Bargaining Council. What we are saying, Heidi, is that, yes, we do feel the pressure as well. We do feel the pressure as education workers, as teachers, as public servants. However, we've got a lived experience of an economy that is primarily suffering on its own. This is an economy that has also had to deal with the COVID pandemic moving beyond that. So what we are saying is that when you look at the average, what the workers will then receive, it really compels you to speak even beyond the just 3% cost of living adjustment. The totality of the offer, Heidi, in the context of the circumstances right now that we are facing, not only as teachers, but also as South Africans, all of us, both in the public sector, even in the private sector as well, the totality of the offer is telling us now, as education workers, that we can, at the very least, at this point in time, accept the 3% cost of living adjustment in totality of the other elements. And by the way, Heidi, as we do that, we are not necessarily neglecting our duty as well to defend collective bargaining. In fact, Sadtu has decided that part of what we are going to do, given the experience that we have seen from the Concord adjustment or the judgment in relation to the 2018 collective agreement one, in relation to that, in relation to what the economy has seen in our context as South Africans, we are therefore saying that the totality of the offer at this very stage makes it acceptable to us. By the way, Heidi, our members have also told us, because we want to emphasize that Sadtu is a worker-driven union. We get the mandate from our members. Our members have told us that they do not have an appetite for an industrial action, for instance, because of the after effects that includes the no work, no pay, which our members, by the way, feel in the very pockets that we're talking about here.
Certainly, I've run out of time, but I just want to ask you one last question. Has that offer been signed, or has it just been accepted?
Well, in our view, Heidi, we also wanted to give an opportunity to the other affiliates within the Joint Managing Committee of COSATU to also take it through their own processes. So ours right now is that we have accepted the offer. Our members have given us a mandate to accept the offer. The signing thereof becomes an administrative issue. So right now, it is us and our members having given us a clear mandate, given the challenges that they are facing right now, to accept the offer.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that clarity and that update. We do appreciate it. That was South African Democratic Teachers Union, Xolani Fakude.